Alright, this one is a little more difficult because the graph, when you graph this, is going to look different than anything we really talked about extensively. But I think you can do it if you just think about this logically. So I'm going to do 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter, 5, enter. And then this is going to be 3, enter, 2.3, enter, 1.9, oops, enter, 1.6, enter, and 1.4, enter. Before I get too far into this, let's see, I'm going to look at this from this standpoint. I know that a power function, it has this idea. We don't really know much about what's going on the negative side, but we're really concerned about this side. Exponential, it looks like this, and this is an asymptote. It's going straight out. Remember that we're not really concerned about this. We're concerned about this. And logarithmic, it looks like this. And this is an asymptote here. This is 1. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a couple of different reflections and stuff. If I did a reflection across the x-axis with this, it looks like this. This one would look like this. And this one would look like this. Okay? Now, in real life, we couldn't ever use a logarithmic function because we're not dealing with negatives. So I'm going to flip it across the x-axis. So this one's going to look like, I'm flipping from the original here, I'm going to flip it across the x-axis. So then this would look like this. This one is going to look like this. And I'm finding, and this one, the logarithmic, if I flip it across the x-axis, it's going to look like this. Okay? So let's start this. I'm going to go window and, oh, let's go back. Oh, I know that I can go out to 7. My numbers don't get any higher than 4, so I can look at the graph right now. Oh, invalid domain. Let's quit. Okay, so let's go here. I'm going to turn this one off. Let's go back. Turn this one on, but I just want L1 and L2. So let's close the graph. Alright, so that doesn't look like my original power function. It doesn't look like my original exponential function. It doesn't look like my original logarithmic function. Okay, oops. Here we go. So then I go back and I look. That isn't a power function reflected across the y-axis. It isn't a reflection across the x-axis. So now let's go to exponential. Exponential, it's not the original exponential. It isn't really a reflection across the y-axis. So then let's go to exponential across the x-axis. Still not really what it looks like. Let's look at logarithmic. It's not the original logarithmic. Doesn't look like the flipped across the y-axis. But let's look at the one where it's flipped across the x-axis. Now, if I just took this little piece and I did, ooh, it's not going to move. If I just moved the graph part of this and I did a translation up and I translated this up here, a vertical translation up, would that look like your graph somewhat? It would. It's probably a logarithmic function. But what I'm going to tell you to do is, let's see when I put in stat plot. Remember that for a logarithmic function, that this is ln x and y. So I'm going to check it out. When I go to my stat plot and, oh, we got it, stat, edit. I'm going to do my ln of L1 and my ln of L2. Okay, So if this is a logarithmic function, when I do ln x and y, it should give me a straight line. So I'm going to go second stat plot. It's on, but I'm dealing with ln x, and ln x is in L3, and my y is in L2. It's already there. So let's look at my graph. Alright, I am a little further out of my window than I need to be, but did I get a straight line here? I did get a straight line. Therefore, I do know that it is logarithmic. Okay, so then I'm just going to make the equation. Stat plot, or stat, go down to calculate. Logarithmic is number 9, ln. Push enter. Remember that I want the original. And there you go. Perfect. So then I'm just going to write my equation. And let's see. I'm going to make that a 3. So we're going to have y equals 3 plus ln. Let's go back. Oh, I'm sorry. This b, so let's go back. Okay. So my b value is going to be in right there. I'm going to just make that 1. So it would really be a -1 in place of the b. So -1 ln x. And there's your equation.